What does it mean to have a right to the city? Who has the right to live here? I think about that a lot. In many cities in the United States, being homeless is illegal. In other cities around the world, there are huge areas that are considered informal and are very challenging to build infrastructure for. Our economy tends to decide who is worthy of a safe home based on their job, their own wealth, or their family's wealth. But what if you're mentally ill or disabled or you have no family you can rely on? What if instead you have a family to support and suddenly lose your home, but make too little to afford rent? What if you're one paycheck away from not having a place to stay? In recent years, the lack of affordable housing production combined with increasing housing prices and very little increase in hourly wages have made it hard to rent or purchase homes in America. I have friends who are currently or have been homeless. This issue tends to impact a lot of Black, Indigenous, and people of color communities. How can homelessness be a racial issue, you ask? A lot of it has to do with a long history of racial segregation that has happened in the past, like racially restrictive housing covenants, redlining, and discriminatory lending. There's a really good movie called The Banker, which shows how the Los Angeles housing market became desegregated with the help of Bernard Garrett and Joe Morris. It's worth seeing if you want an entertaining film that gives you an idea of what things were like in U.S. history. I think most people are on board with the notion that we need to solve the housing crisis, but it's often challenging to figure out how. I know that I personally alone can't solve the housing crisis, but I can take some time to sit with it and digest it. So I decided to try making a small art piece. I started off by looking at the work of different artists. The way that Blythe Scott painted houses really inspired me, along with seeing wreaths on Pinterest. So I started thinking about what it would be like if I made a wreath of houses and had my own statement. And after some struggle of the right words to put in, a friend helped me come up with the saying, "Housing is a human right." So I decided to try hand lettering it in the center. in the end, I liked it a lot. I'm thinking about putting it up in my Redbubble or Etsy store. If you're interested in purchasing, I will donate 50% of the profits that I make to a nonprofit housing organization or a campaign effort to address housing and homelessness. And I will link them below when I do. If you liked watching this process, please like and subscribe, and I will bring you more such content every week.